So it wasn't long ago, maybe a week or so, when MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell was telling us that he's completely broke and I'm going to have to go door to door begging for money to appeal my case. Well, apparently he's no longer concerned about the fact that he doesn't have any money because he's now considering, according to what he said in an interview with Steve Bannon this week, he's considering running for governor of Minnesota. So a week ago, Mike Lindell is on the air crying about his money problems, crying about his legal problems. I'm facing a $1.2 billion defamation lawsuit. I need money. And then a week later, he's like, yeah, I may run for governor of Minnesota. I don't know. I'm a wild and crazy guy. So obviously, he's not that concerned about money. Obviously, he's not that concerned about his company that's, not doing well. And obviously, he's not concerned about the potential $1 billion he could owe for the defamation lawsuits that he is still facing. Or perhaps he's banking on that conservative mogul who is buying Dominion voting systems to simply drop the case altogether. He'll still face the one from Smartmatic, sure. But I think that's what he's really banking on is the conservative, mega donor that's going to buy Dominion will probably drop that lawsuit. But here is what Lindell said during the Bannon show. Bannon says, quote, "Why is the Attorney General of the state of Minnesota trying to shut down your network to make sure that people who get away from addiction, drug addiction, all the addictions based on Christian principles, why is he targeting you, sir?" And Lindell says, "I would call him a radical Muslim." All right, we're going to stop just a moment right there, Mike. Could have done without the Islamophobia, right? Do we have to always pepper in racism, Republicans? Is that just so ingrained in your DNA that you literally cannot do anything without throwing in some racism? And I know we've said that, not all Republicans are racist, but racists sure do fit in well with the Republicans, but I don't even know that that's accurate anymore. I mean, at this point, the amount of casual racism that these Republicans throw out, the amount of racist text messages, holy hell, that we've had in the last 7 days is just overwhelming. So I'm still kind of willing to say that not all Republicans are racists. But God, you guys are not doing a good job proving that you're not all racist. So I'll continue. I believe he hates our country. You have Elon Omar there too, and I believe attacks on me. They don't want people getting off addiction and becoming Christians or giving their lives to Jesus Christ. He could also be upset that I'm considering running for governor of Minnesota. And Bannon says, "What? Hold on, that's a scoop. You're considering doing what?" And Lindell says, "Running for governor of Minnesota against Tim Walz," one of the most popular governors in the country, by the way. Bannon says, "Am I breaking news here? There's too much news we're breaking today. Is this true? Mike Lindell's thinking of running for governor?" And Lindell says, "Absolutely." Now, here's the thing. Again, Tim Walz is one of the most popular governors in America. Okay? His job seems to be pretty secure, especially against a nutbag like Mike Lindell. But running for governor in Minnesota makes sense for a guy like Lindell if we take his past statements at value. Because remember, again, a week ago, I'm broke. I have nothing. I can't even afford to appeal already the verdict, the liability against me. So what's a good way to get a lot of quick money in the United States and through various dubious means, put a little of that in your own pocket? The answer, of course, is run for public office, start a political action committee, do all kinds of things involving running for office. And sure, there are very strict rules about what you can and cannot spend that money on, but let's be honest here, folks, regardless of your party affiliation, those rules are almost never enforced. I mean, if they were, then you would have somebody like Caroline Leavitt probably being prosecuted right now because, she never paid any of her campaign debts. I know if we don't pay our debts, you owe somebody, a company, money and you don't pay them, you're immediately going to be sued. And then if you fail to pay that, you can end up in jail. But if you're running a political campaign, suddenly, hey, you don't have to worry about your debts. If there's no money, there's no money. It's all good, right? We have seen plenty of instances where there's questionable campaign expenses that really look a lot like just personal expenses. So a guy who is, as Lindell described himself, broke, that may be the easiest way to get a little bit of free money at least to buy yourself a nice meal. Continue to have electricity in your home. So yeah, it does make total sense that this is where Lindell's mind is headed.
Thanks for watching, everyone. We're inching closer and closer to 1 million subscribers, and we're aiming to hit that goal before the year closes. So if you aren't subscribed to the channel, please do so, and don't forget to like, comment, and share. Thanks for joining us as we head towards this huge milestone.